Hi everyone. So this week's post is actually about long-term investing. So we often hear people talking about investing for the long term, but I think very little people understand that it is more than just our holding period. So when it comes to long-term investing, it is actually the quest of looking for companies that are able to take over the responsibility of compounding our wealth for us. And to invest in this kind of company, generally I have three rules when it comes to hunting for them. So number one, we want to look for positive feedback loops. Most companies' life cycle follows an S curve, meaning they'll grow very rapidly at the start and then they'll slowly start to mature before going downhill. But there's actually a small group of company that keeps getting stronger and stronger as they grow. Now, if we want to look for sustainable wealth creation, sustainable growth, it requires positive feedback loops where growth begets further growth. It means the company becomes stronger as they grow bigger. So there are few types of this kind of companies that's available around us, and we want, as investors, we want to hit where the fishes are. And so for one example, take for example Scaled Economics Shared, and in this case the company is Costco. So Costco is a supermarket, right? And their competitive advantage, or rather their value proposition, is that they always aim to keep prices low. And by keeping prices low, customers are happy. They will be able to increase their sales because many people would want to shop where it's cheap. And when they are able to gain that skill by increasing the amount of sales, they gain economies of scale and bargaining power. Then they are able to press down the costs for their company even lower. And by pushing down the cost, they pass all these cost savings to the customers, further lowering prices, and the customers will enjoy these kind of benefits and want to shop at Costco more, and hence Costco sales will grow even further, and the cycle will keep repeating itself. And when Costco grow, right, as a result of lower prices and passing on the benefit, customers will come to them, and this flywheel effect is created. And as it grows bigger, it becomes stronger over time, and it's harder and harder for competitors to come in and displace them. Now, another example I have is network effect. And we see this playing out with Facebook and YouTube. So when Facebook and YouTube, there's an increase in the number of users on the platform, it's able to attract a lot of creators and advertisers who are there to showcase their content, and also advertisers who are there to sell their product. And when there's more content generated on the platform, and as well as there's more advertisement revenue generated on the platform, Facebook and YouTube is able to reinvest back into the platform and make it an even better platform. Their algo keeps getting better and better, their UX keeps getting better and better all the time, and as a result, it increased the amount of users again. And when the number of users keep increasing, more creators and advertisers will keep pouring in, and over time, with the increase in content, advertisement, reinvestment back to making the platform better, it becomes a perpetual flywheel as well. Younger companies will find it more and more difficult to compete with these very big players, because when the amount of users increase, it attract more content creators, advertisement money, and and in turn, by making the platform better, it goes back into increasing the amount of users. And in order to compound well long term, we want to select companies that become stronger with size, not become slower. Now, the second rule that we want to abide by when we are choosing to invest long term is that we want to invest in high quality management. And because ultimately, when we are investing in companies, we are looking for someone to take over our capital allocation decisions, and we want to look for competent management who thinks in a 5 to 10 years horizon. Now, in my most latest post, I actually included a checklist on evaluating management. So be sure to check that out. It's a very comprehensive list on how you want to evaluate management, on whether they are shareholder oriented and whether they are competent. Now, the last rule to abide by when investing long term is that you want to focus on high signal, low noise information. Meaning, there's going to be a lot of news bombarding at you every single day, but most of this information are useless. We must be intentional about the information we absorb and protect our mind. As a rule of thumb, I ignore forecasts of any sorts, especially macroeconomics event, for example, interest rate and inflation. Now, to sum it up, investing is simple but not easy. the decision to be a long-term investor starts with the sort of companies we choose to invest in. And these 3 rules will increase the success rate of finding a compounder for your long-term portfolio. Now, if you want more details and you want to read more about this, go ahead and check out the latest article I wrote on steadycompounding.com. That's where you are able to get further information and especially take a look at how to evaluate management. Thank you. That's all I have for you today.